Hey y'all. Okay, one video I watched, they want to know why we chose enlistment. Now, me being young and not having much influence, instead of complaining about what's going on in the world, why not join a great force that can better it and protect it? I have a family. And even before I had a family, I wanted to enlist. So it really doesn't change how I feel now. It just makes my passion stronger because, I could be scared. Oh my gosh, these people are going to come and take over and me not do anything about it. I can just sit here and be the good little housewife I am and not do anything. But no, if I can use the many faceted skills I have to help and work for my country to help this force protect my country, I'm going to take that opportunity. Because when my country is safe, my children are safe. They're not completely safe because everything, and I used to be a hypochondriac, and I'm a little bit of a cyberchondriac. Like, if my booger's the wrong color, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to trip the fuck out. But anyways, aside from that, when it comes to, terrorists, not everything is safe, but I can work my hardest as a future airman to do my part. Um, I do plan on becoming an officer within the first 6 years. I could be well behaved, and I already found out what it took to qualify for OTS once you're in. Um, and I do plan on taking this out. Now, I have chosen to direct ship, meaning I feel very privileged that they allowed me to come into their office and sign those paperworks because we know that they don't really need us. So I felt very privileged. I don't care what job I get. Well, I don't want, knock on wood, EOD, but whatever job I get, I mean, after all, after 26 months, you can cross train and get a different job. But I am enlisting my first contract for 6 years. So if I do not like the job I have in 26 months after good behavior, I can, cross train and re-qualify for a different job. I always have that option, but wherever they need to put me, they can put me because, it's a privilege. I have a lot of military family. I wasn't a tag chaser, but something about a man in uniform was like the best thing. My ex-boyfriend was a staff sergeant in the Air Force. He's in Korea. So, being with him kind of gave me a sight. I've been in military parades, especially Camp Pendleton. I went down there. At Edwards, I was in the military parade for the Chamber of Commerce. I talked to many people there, and their lives have changed. They came up from nothing, and they wanted to go to school and become better people and lead people. My daddy, one of them, I'm a Navy brat. I was born in Port Hueneme. Not to put my info out there, whatever, but I was born there so many years ago. So I'm kind of a Navy brat. And then my other stepdad, he was a Marine for a while. And then he went into firefighting for almost 30 years, so he's kind of old. My Uncle TD, he was in the 100 and... Was he in the 89th? James. Jay. Do you remember what unit my uncle said he was in? Well, he was, my husband was Army. My Uncle TD was Army. My brother-in-law, one of them, Air Force. Sister-in-law, Air Force. My other Theo, he was Marine Corps. Another ex-boyfriend slash really good friend I used to have was Marine Corps. So I've been around a lot of military. Oh, and then another one of my stepdads, I know, right? Another one of my stepdads worked in D.C., so I got to go to Andrews Air Force Base a lot. I've been to Boeing Air Force Base. I went to a lot of air shows. I essentially wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to be a pilot, but now I think I'm going to choose a different path. Once I become an officer, and I obtain my bachelor's, then I will look into it and see if it's for me still. Because I'm still young and I have so many options. It might not be for me, then I might like what I'm doing. But I wanted to be a pilot because at my first air show at Andrews Air Force Base when I was like little, it was so beautiful. I cried literally when I saw it because I felt that passion. And then my best friend, she's in the Navy. And then I also went many, many times to the Naval Academy in Annapolis. So that was fun. I've been to Arlington Cemetery, and I like to hear the stories of the heroes that were there regardless of what they did. With some wars, it's still beautiful to hear, that they had a passion for this country. I've been under the Lincoln Memorial. I've been in D.C. a lot. Like, I went to D.C. all the time. So I got to meet a lot of military people around there. My interest was first peaked when I was like 15. When I was 15, I first got interested in the military on wanting to be in it. I was a Marine Corps girl all the way because I had a boyfriend who was 19 and he was in the Marine Corps. So, yeah, he turned 19 when I turned 16. So, he was in the Marine Corps and he loved it. So that's when I was like, oh, I want to be in the Marine Corps, and I would watch these videos and the promotional things. And then when I was 17, I was in my club phase because I was that girl that, was young but didn't look young. So I was getting away with murder, going to clubs and shopping and stuff, and dating a music producer. So I was being spoiled, with my Prada purses and my Louboutins and all that stuff. I had that when I moved to Hollywood. So that I decided, okay, I can be spoiled all I want to, or maybe I can just go, and search. So I went towards USC, University of Southern California, and they have a recruiter center right across from there. And that's the first time I met a snoring bulldog. It was so cute. When I watched all the videos, and then I was 17 at the time, and I did not know you can enlist with parental consent, but I didn't have any parents anymore, so it was kind of different for me, and I was a senior in high school, so that was my plan. And then I moved in with my mom after I started talking to her again, and then me and my best friend decided on, well, at the time, she didn't know what she wanted to do yet, but I wanted to, when I was going to high school with her, we were both wanting to look at Navy, because they had, the buddy system. But then Sergeant McGuire, she told me about the Air Force, and I was pretty interested on that too. And then later on, after I got taken out of school, there was a tragedy that happened, I'm not going to go into it at the moment, but I got pregnant with my son, and I got pregnant with my son, so I couldn't enlist. I didn't even know I was pregnant, so my best friend got back from basic training, for the Navy. She got back, and she was so excited about it. I turned 18, and it was pretty awesome. I missed her, and so we found out I was pregnant, and we decided, hey, let's go look. And then I was in school, and I was doing my thing, so I really didn't contemplate it too much, but I still wanted to do it. And then the next year, I wanted to go into the Army. I was a single parent, because me and, babe split ways. So I wanted to do what was best for me. And then later on I found out he found me on Facebook, and he was like, I want to take care of you and our son. I'm in the Army now, and you know, before I messed up by letting you go and whatnot. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be an Army wife because I don't want to be dependent, but because I love him, I went for it. Now, being an Army wife, that's a doozy. That's a whole nother video. I say a lot, don't I? You can call me from Umbridge. Um, Sorry, I'm gonna get comfortable one day. I won't say so much. Oh jeez, Louise, mac and cheese. But anyway, yeah, I got with him and I was Army wife for a little bit, and we had an agreement that when he got out, I wasn't pregnant with my second child. Shit. I was pregnant with my second child, and I told him, I said, when you get out, I'm going in. And then I got pregnant with BB. And then I was like, oh, dang, I'm pregnant. So then after he got out unexpectedly, we decided, okay, I'm going to finally get my GED, and I'm going to enlist. What branch am I going to choose? So I looked at all the branches. You know, I wanted the challenge of being tough and being a Marine, but I've been the girlfriend of a sergeant in the Marine Corps, and they're kind of mean, no offense, but I'm not speaking on everybody. I'm speaking on the people that I experienced at Camp Pendleton. They're kind of mean, and the women are a little bit scary because one staff sergeant that I made friends with, she was really muscular, really muscular. Like, she had a really pretty face, but she was, whew, can, boom, take you down. So I was like, okay, no, I want to do Marine Corps. So it's not me. Navy, their branches are connected, and it's not me. Coast Guard, whew, I don't want to chase pirates. They do their job and they do it well. Certain people are selected for certain things. Army, I had enough with Jay's base, so I was like, oh, I'm not going anywhere near it as long as I can. And then I searched into Air Force. Now, before I dated my ex, who was staff sergeant in the Air Force, he was okay, but from what my family had told me and from what I was raised on, Air Force were the punks. But you know, now that I look into it and now that I talk to people, and you know, like Aim High Erin on her blog, I can't remember the exact phrase, but she basically summed up everything that about the Air Force. You know, she's basically saying that they're needed for their brains. They have to develop stuff. They have to put stuff together. So why exhaust their bodies physically? Because if you're so physically exhausted, your mind is not going to be up to the optimum performance that you need it, right? So basically, the Air Force wants them to be at their top shape for their mind to work. So I don't consider the Air Force, looking on the other side, as being the chair force. You know, everybody has their strengths. I don't discriminate anymore against any branch, and I've learned my lesson. And then when I saw that, you know, because I have my little technical certificates back in the day, I was like, I can do stuff like this. I'm good at stuff like this. I can stare at a computer for a long time and not get tired, you know. I can keep a cool, calm head. So I was like, okay, this one's for me. And then I called my first recruiter, and then I finally got connected, and he was pretty excited because he's like, well, your husband has a good job. You don't need her to be financially. And I was like, no, I really don't. I want to enlist because I want to. I don't need to because Jay has a great job working for his family's company. So everything was cool. I didn't need it, and they don't need me, but I want to, and it's going to be a really privilege. It's going to be a big privilege. Sorry, I speak a few languages, so it's kind of hard for me to phrase things sometimes, so excuse that. Now, my children also motivate me because I didn't come from much, and I want them to, you know, see how I can be and to be proud to call me their mama. When they ask, what does your mom do? I don't want them to be like, well, she's just a stay-at-home mom. She just takes care of us. My daddy does all the work. I want them to say, my mom's in the United States Air Force, and she's important, and she does this, and she does that. And I want to give them something to look forward to. I want to give them that advantage. going to be great. So that's why I'm choosing to enlist. I'm choosing to go all the way. I want to retire. I want to become an officer. How high? How high? Don't let me go. So that was a big step for me to want to for me to decide. So my first term enlistment is going to be the 6-year enlistment, and I'm going to keep going 6 year after that. Because by the time I retire, I'll be in my 40s, so that's pretty young, and my kids will be, out of college or in grad school doing their own thing, beyond the age to drink. So it's a perfect time to retire. But I think if I'm needed and the Air Force will let me, I will stay. It's as simple as that. My kids are a huge motivator because they need to know that I'm doing whatever it takes to keep their country safe, because we need to make this country the way it needs to be for our children. They're the next generation. They're the next ones that are going to take over and inherit it. So we need to build that wall and to protect them so that they can have that freedom. They can maintain their freedom regardless of what goes on. Our country ain't perfect, but it's pretty darn beautiful to me. We have so many opportunities. If you're a law-abiding citizen and you're a good person and you're doing what needs to be done, then the sky's the limit. And there's no limit to the sky, because you go straight up into the mesosphere and everything. So it's all out there. So that's my reason to enlist. It's not about the money, because from being a private's wife, money ain't that big like you think. It's not, especially when you have kids. So I can choose to stay here and just relax, but no, I want to go in. And then when I go in, after I process this week, it's the first week of August. So I was here for my daughter's first birthday and her first steps and her first words. So me and my new recruiter and I, he's pretty old now. I had him for a while now. Ooh, shit, I said again. We decided that I'm going to do direct ship because I don't care what job they put me in. Service before self. One of the core values. So if they need me at a certain job, I'm not going to be job locked. I'm still going to do my list of which jobs I would like to do, and I have that down already. But I'm going on direct ship. So I'm making all these videos now because once I process, I'm on direct ship. There is no 45-day wait, no 3-month wait, none of that. It's just going to be basically 2 weeks of me being here, and I have to plan everything out. And I'm really happy. I'm really excited. I'm prepared. Mostly. I'm still working on my memory work. But I'm prepared. I'm ready. I'm a very strong person. I'm not one to cry unless I see a really cutesy movie. So I'm really excited, y'all, and I hope y'all are excited for me, and I'm excited for y'all watching my videos, because this journey that y'all are taking with me, it's going to be a great one, and I'm always there for people, even if I don't know you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to inbox me. If you don't want to leave a comment, inbox me. Because my situation is unique, and the sky's the limit, and I know most of it. I don't know it all, but I know most of it from that aspect. And I will keep going with this YouTube channel, not just for military stuff, for other stuff as well. So I will see you guys next video.